This video is late because I was busy doing laundry, but yeah, like I said on Twitter, if it was it, I would make and publish and upload a video with zero editing, zero practice, zero scripting, just fucking go, just like the new Avantgarda. I'm still like processing it all, but yeah, oh my lord, this is exactly what I wanted. It guarantees your second attack at the minimum. It lets you extend for a third attack. It lets you double up on putting strategies into Soul, which is really strong if you need to do that for whatever reason. Like maybe you want to pop a rear guard and still give the front row 10k buff, which is nice. And the only concern I have is it's recyclable with the new grade 1, but you struggle to Soul Blast both grade, like the regular Avantgarda and the new ones. So I don't know how many you want to run, especially given how many more deck slots you're taking up, especially now because you need to add way more orders because you need to see like multiple orders and your habitable zones. I think the deck does become a little bit tighter in space and assembly, but I think your ceiling is way higher. You lose a little bit of floor because you're cutting Freiheit. So there'll be turns where you hit like grade turn 4 and you don't have Persona Ride and you don't have the new grade 3 and you have nothing going and you're just bricking. And believe me, those turns exist. I've lived them, as you've been following me on Twitter, probably, hopefully, maybe. What am I doing? There's no link in the description. There is no description. I'm uploading this as is. But yeah, like, the artwork is also really fucking cool. Like, come on. It's a mobile armor, like, tiny little Avantgarda robot in a giant, like, suit. Come on. I do think the deck has a lot of potential. I haven't really sat down to work on it yet. Like, I don't have a PC. I've got tons of garbage in my room. Like, my room is tiny to say the least. So I don't have a PC to sit at. My arm is aching from holding this thing up for 2.5 minutes for this video. So switch arms here. Hopefully the audio doesn't get mangled because I'm covering up the microphone. But yeah, it is probably the highlight of my trip so far. No joke. I think that says a lot, maybe about my time in Japan thus far. But I'm really excited. I think the deck is still not tier 1. Like, you don't compete with Gandiva, you don't compete with Willista, you probably don't compete with the new Mask decks or even the existing Mask decks. I don't think you compete with any of the Stride decks. Like, you need so many more pieces for your turn 4 to be incredible that the Stride decks just don't need. So I think it is really still quite rough. Your advantage still is the massive plussing. Like, you go into halfway into the new grade 1, into countercharge, and you go like +3 in one turn, maybe more if you have habitable zones. There is a bit of potential still, and it could still be really good, but for now, discard 2 is pretty rough. I would have liked to see, like, if it was like Soul Blast 2, discard 1, it would have been perfect. Because then you Soul Blast your extra order, you Soul Blast grade 3s to recycle for Persona Ride. It would have been a lot better overall for the deck. But I get that, you know, we can't all be broken tier 1 incredible effects. But it's still really good. Like, you're discarding 3 across a turn, like if you do full combo, which isn't bad, but it's not great. My lights are flickering. And I think that might be what holds it back. Because I think you definitely can't place draws. Like, the deck is already struggling enough to, like, finish games and, like, win on turn 3 as it is. So I think heavy on fronts and crits is still the way. Which is a shame, because I think... And even without playing draws now, my current list is 7 crit, 4 front. And I've been going to deck out quite a lot. Like, especially against, like, Willista, against... not Zorga, what's the other one? Leonorn. Like, those are really grindy matchups from, like, I've played at locals. It is actually surprisingly tough, and I think given how hard it is for you to recycle pieces, how hard it is for you to find pieces in the first place, especially without Freiheit, I'm not massively convinced that it's, like, the goo, but I still think the card is really, really good. It's almost exactly what Avantgarda needed. I think the only real thing we were missing is maybe, like, the Hex Orb clause or, like, the Vanquisher clause, where it says, like, this card is also regarded as Avantgarda, so that you could then do whatever it is you needed to do. Like maybe Persona Ride, maybe so that even on turn 3 you can search the new one off of Freiheit. That would, if it had that line, I would have considered keeping Freiheit. But as is, like, I'm still really happy. You know, this is my pile that I'm working with. I'll figure something out. The new Avantgarda doesn't release until after I'm back in the UK, so you probably won't get to see me make early videos of it in Japan. Not that I have the facilities to make a video to begin with, but yeah, I'll probably like run some tabletop stuff when I get home, which is going to be end of this month. I'll keep posting up my Twitter results. I'll keep posting on X my locals results, but yeah, Tony is currently in charge of the channel and content, because unless you want more of this, which I don't think anyone does, but if you do, leave it in the comments. But yeah, this is all I'm really capable of making for now. Who knows? Maybe this is the new format. Maybe we're innovating, just like the new Avantgarda. But yeah, it is definitely something that I'm very happy to see, especially given how I've been performing with Avantgarda at locals lately, although that's mostly more due to luck than anything else. But I am still really happy. Like, I was in the middle of a team meeting with some of the people that, like, in my share house. We were talking about, you know, what to do for tomorrow, what to do for today, or reviewing today's work. And I got a notification on my phone from a friend saying, like, yo, they revealed it, new Hearthbuster. And I was like, okay, sure, let me check it out. And the people next to me just was like, Ben, are you okay? Because they noticed that I went from being like, no, you know, we're talking about the day, to like grinning ear to ear. And they're like, oh, are you good? I was like, oh, new card revealed. And they're like, okay, sure, you can take some time for yourself. But yeah, I spent like the last just hour or so just thinking about it. You know, I did talk a little bit on Discord with some friends being like, oh, this is it, this is great. And yeah, like while I was doing my laundry waiting for that to run through the cycle, I was like, okay, what am I going to say in this video? Like, how am I going to approach it? And I forgotten half of it while I was doing this. So yeah, unscripted, unplanned, everything content for the win. But yep, very happy, good card. We'll experiment, stay tuned, etc, etc. Tell Tony to pick up the slack, and I'll see you all in a few weeks' time, unless you want more of this. But until then, blah blah blah, algorithm, engagement, YouTube, words. See you.